Well, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on freedom. Oh yeah, I woke up this morning with my mind it was a stayed on freedom. I woke up this morning with my mind it was a stayed on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm singing and marching with my mind it was a stayed on freedom. Oh yeah, I'm singing and marching with my mind it was a stayed on freedom. Singing and marching with my mind it was a stayed on freedom. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Daily Antidote of Song, day number 2129. Amazing. Day number 2129. A song a day. I love it, love it, love it. I'm Dr. Kim Harris coming to you from Los Angeles. I'm not even going to say what the temperature is here because, I'll get in trouble. But anyway. Great to see everybody. Thank you for joining the Daily Antidote of Song. And I'm really excited to meet someone that I haven't gotten to meet before or hear before. Nadia Tarnawsky. Did I say it correctly, Nadia?
You sure
Nadia
did.
Tarnawsky. Great to meet you. And I know you've got some amazing things for us today. So, what are you going to sing for us and get us going?
So today we're going to sing a winter carol because in Ukraine today is the last day that you're officially allowed to sing them, which is when Joe asked me if I wanted to sing why I picked this day. And it's a very special day. It's called Rosh Kolyada. And what you do is you sing all the winter carols and Christmas carols on this day that you know, because what you do is you thank them for bringing abundance and good health and wonder and joy to your home for the winter season. And then you say goodbye to them because you're not going to sing them again until the 24th of December, until Christmas Eve. So there's three reasons that I chose this song. So that's the first reason. And then I'll tell you the other reasons as we go on. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just sing. So I'm going to put up on the screen a short line of music. If you don't read music, don't let it freak you out. I really want you to just look at the words. They're there in Cyrillic and in Latin letters, whichever one you prefer. And so everyone just say, Dai tobi Bozhe. Say that with me. Dai tobi Bozhe. And then don't be afraid of all those consonants in a row. It's just an SH and a CH following each other. Schastya zdorovyay. So say that with me. Schastya zdorovyay. And then domi. So say that, domi. And so what you're saying is, may God grant you good fortune and good health in your home. And this refrain happens all the time. And so it's going to keep coming back. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to learn the drone part, which is drone is singing on one note. And so you get the rhythm of the text and then be able to say the words one more time. So I'll sing through the whole line and then you sing with me. Дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, домі. Sing with me. And дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, домі. Do it again. Дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, домі. So you can sing that drone part anytime. The part that's up here on your screen basically just comes down the scale twice. It starts on the fifth note of the scale and comes down and then goes back up to the fourth note of the scale and then comes down again. So it sounds like this. Дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, domi. So I'm going to break that up a little bit. Дай тобі, Боже, sing that. Дай тобі, Боже, one more time. Дай тобі, Боже. Good, and here comes the consonant word. Щастя, здоров'я. Sing with me. Щастя, здоров'я. Very good. And then domi, domi. So let's sing the whole line all together. So this is the melody. And дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, domi. Once again. Дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, domi. Good. Now you sing the melody, and I'm going to sing the drone against you. So you're going to go, дай тобі, Боже, ready, go. Дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, domi. So hopefully you could hear how the harmony works there. I'm going to say that that was fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing the drone ones, and then I'm going to sing the melody ones, and you can sing whichever part you want. Here we go. Drone first. Дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, domi. Melody. Дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, domi. Do the melody one more time. And дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, domi. Excellent. Now, I said the first reason that I wanted to sing the song was because today is Rosh Kolyada, and so it's the last day that we sing winter and Christmas carols, and then we say farewell to them. The second reason that I wanted to sing this song is because it's the year 2026, and this year is the 40th anniversary of the Chernobyl reactor exploding in Ukraine. So that reactor exploded in April of 1986, if you can believe it. It's been 40 years. Maybe I said 20th anniversary. That's wrong. It's 40th anniversary. And this particular song comes from a village. I'll bring up the map and I'll show it to you. It comes from a village called Vilshanka. And Vilshanka is a village that doesn't exist anymore. So you see here where the little red dot is. That's where the village of Vilshanka is. And it's about 30 kilometers, which is like really 15 miles away from the reactor. So Vilshanka was one of the villages that was forcibly evacuated, which means people were taken from their homes and told, oh, you just grab a couple things because you'll be back in about a week, and then you can come home. So they were lied to, and then they were resettled into other cities throughout Ukraine, and then they never got to go home ever again, because this village and a lot of villages in that area became part of what is called the exclusion zone. And so, you're not allowed to live there. Although there are some very, very tenacious old ladies who just crawled under the barbed wire and went back home and said, I don't care. I'm living in my home. And for the most part, the government said, they're 80-year-old women. What are we going to do? Then they just let them live there and they check in on them. But there's a community of about, 300-400 people, believe it or not, which I think is quite large, who still live in that exclusion zone. So one of the things about this region is that they do harmony, not what I call vertically, like here you have a note and then you sing a note like 3 notes above it or maybe 4 notes below it and you make a chord. They do it horizontally. So they create harmony by having variations on the melody. So you have one variation. Дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, domi. I'm going to give you another variation because what happens when you do these variations, you end up creating harmony, but in a way that we might not be very accustomed to. So this next one is the one that I call the waterfall one, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. I'm going to share my screen one more time. Here we go. So this one has little fast notes in it. If fast notes scare you, don't be afraid, just because it's really just like going down a slide. So this variation sounds like this. Дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я, domi. So everyone just try the little slide, go, woo, like that. And now do it on an O vowel, because you're going to need that O vowel for both of those waterfalls. So go, oh, One more time. Oh, do it again with me. Oh, so daj tobi Bozhe, sing that and go. Daj tobi Bozhe, one more time. Daj tobi Bozhe, good. And here's the next part. Schastya, zdorovyay, domi, sing with me. Schastya, zdorovyay, domi. One more time, and schastya, zdorovyay, domi. Sing the whole thing. Daj domi Bozhe, schastya, zdorovyay, domi. Once again. Daj tobi Bozhe, schastya, zdorovyay, domi. Now, I don't mean to scare you, but we're going to do the other parts as well. So, we'll do the one that's the scale, we'll do the one that's the drone, and we'll do this one. And then we'll talk about the other part of the song. But you're only going to be responsible for this part. So everyone sing the drone with me. Sing on one note. Here we go. Daj tobi Bozhe, schastya, zdorovyay, domi. Sing the waterfall one. Daj tobi Bozhe, schastya, zdorovyay, domi. Sing the one that's the scale. Daj tobi Bozhe, schastya, zdorovyay, domi. Very well done. So now you know 3. There's actually like 15 different variations, but don't freak out because we're not going to do all 15 today. If we do 3 or 4 of them, that's plenty. Okay, so very often I called winter carols or Christmas carols designated driver songs. And I call them designated driver songs because you have one person who sings the verse and the part that has all the words that change every time. And everybody else sings the refrain, which has the words that stay the same. And you're like, whew, fantastic. You don't have to worry about them changing. So just so you know what we're talking about in this song, the person who sings the verses says, Master of the house, are you home? Because these carols would be sung outside. So people would gather around the window of the home and maybe knock on the window. And so the first line of the song basically says, hey, is anybody there? Because, we're here to sing. Interestingly enough, when people go Christmas caroling, now this is not true for, nothing is ever true for 100% of things. But even if the master of the house is not home, they'll sing carols. Because it is believed that when we sing carols, we bring abundance and we bring good health and we bring joy to people's homes. And so we sing for that. We sing carols at a house that's either has a family or living in it or doesn't have a family living in it, because a family might move into that house in July or August or September. And you don't want them to move into a house that hasn't had Christmas carols sung for it, hasn't had abundance sung into it. So the song is singing what we want to happen. So very often in these songs, they talk about a house that has a golden roof or columns that are made of silver, not because there is a golden roof or columns made of silver, but because that's the kind of abundance that we want for these people. That's how we want them to live. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing the designated driver part. So I'm going to sing the verse, and you'll hear me sing the very end of the verse. The very end of each verse has the words daj tobi, which is the very first words that you sing. So that as soon as you hear daj tobi, you're like, oh, that's my cue. I have to start singing now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing 3 verses, and one time I'm going to sing the waterfall version, and another time I'm going to sing the scale variation, and another time I'm going to sing the drone variation. And you sing whatever you want. I don't know. I think I'm going to put the waterfall one up on the screen. So listen for the words daj tobi, but if you get lost, don't worry. I'll be singing with them with you. Here we go. Oi, Pan Khazayin, vdoma, daj tobi. Here we go. Daj tobi Bozhe, schastya, zdorovyay, domi. Zaspilaj stolik, lady pirohi, daj tobi. Here we go. Daj tobi Bozhe, schastya, zdorovyay, domi. Boyduj to tebe, drivosti z neba, daj tobi, and sing. Daj tobi Bozhe, schastya, zdorovyay, domi. Very well done. Now, I may have said at the beginning that there were 3 reasons that I wanted to sing this song today. The first reason is because today's Rosh Koledah, and it's the last day that we sing winter carols. The second reason was because it's the 40th anniversary of the Chernobyl reactor, and this song comes from a liquidated village from the Chernobyl zone. The third reason is because these songs, and songs in general, quite honestly, become the voice of resistance and become the voice of resilience. So I'm going to show one more photo. This photo was taken back in 1972. So just really, really quick history. Western Ukraine belonged to Poland up until the Second World War. And then after the Second World War, it came under Soviet occupation. So those people who lived in Western Ukraine had a very different life experience up to World War II than they did after World War II. And so in this photo, what you see is you see a group of carolers. All of these people and their children were either poets, political dissidents, school teachers, engineers. They'd had some kind of job. And what you need to know that is very important, in 1972, in Ukraine at this time, wearing clothes like this, wearing traditional clothing, so shirts that were embroidered, jackets that were embroidered, sheepskin coats, was against the law. You were not allowed to dress that way because you were being nationalistic and not Soviet. And if you were being nationalistic, you would be in trouble. So these people gathered anyway, learned a whole bunch of songs, went house to house, caroled for people, and sang carols. And then subsequently, this is in the middle of January, so probably a couple weeks ago, like around January 14th through the 21st, many of them had their houses searched by the KGB. Some of them, a good number of them, were arrested. Some of them were held for 1 or 2 days. Some of them were held for a week. And some of them then eventually were shipped by train to Kiev, where they had like a mock trial and ended up in gulags further east into Siberia and Kazakhstan and and other places where the gulag system was happening.
But this is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
No, it's amazing to learn this. So one quick question before we get to doing this again. Now, is today the last day because of religious significance? I know in Catholic traditions, this is like the presentation of the Lord. It's sort of like the, that last, the last hurrah before you move on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's twofold, just to be totally frank and honest. So yes, part of it is following the church calendar. And so in Ukrainian, it's called Stritanya, but yes, you're right. Today is the presentation of Jesus in the temple. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who know that story, is that there was a man there named Simeon who was told that he would only be allowed to die after he had seen the Messiah. And so when Jesus is presented in the temple, he takes the baby and goes, now I can, it's like, Lord,
now I can go
hands. Now I can go. And so that's part of it from the church standpoint. But also, if you look at the wider like agricultural calendar, mm-hmm. February 2nd also falls at kind of the midpoint between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. And those people who lived in an agrarian society were very, very keen on what was happening in the natural world, which is why when we start singing spring songs, we look for things like melting snow, the arrival of certain birds, and they're like, spring is on the way. Or if you want to jumpstart spring, you might sing spring songs a little bit earlier and be like, come on, we're ready.
And I know that some women you were with the other day were singing those spring songs. Come on.
Yeah, we were done with the Arctic flow going on.
Absolutely. Here in the well, okay, so we're going to sing again, and this time, so everybody, so I guess the words will be in the chat, and
the words will be in the chat, but I'll put them up again.
Well, yeah, if you could maybe not put them up.
Oh, so sure.
We can see each other singing. That would be fantastic.
Yes. Okay. The last thing that I wanted to say about the picture of those carolers is that those who were not arrested chose to, and if you ever go to Western Ukraine in Lviv, you'll see that the prison where they sent these people was basically in the middle of town. Like everybody knew where it was. Those who were not arrested went to the place that their friends were being held and continued to sing Christmas carols outside their window, so that those who were in jail could hear Christmas carols coming in from outside the jail. Now, granted, they only maybe sang a verse or two and then scattered and dispersed, but they still did that. They still were like, we're not done singing. We're going to keep singing. and that's what I see happening today. And I kind of feel like those dissidents who lived through the Soviet era are giving me a blueprint of what I can do in these crazy times that are happening in my country, which I never, as a person born in Cleveland, Ohio, I never expected to see Soviet era tactics happening within the US. And it's heartbreaking.
And absolutely, we're going to keep singing.
And we're going to keep singing. So the words are in the text. I'll sing the verses, and then we'll sing the carols, and I'll just keep switching through the different variations. So here we go. Ой, Pan Khazayin, шиєти вдома, дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я й домі. Застилай столи, клади пироги, дай тобі, сing, дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я й домі. Бо йдуть до тебе 3 гості з неба, дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я й домі. Keep going. Перві є гості, святе рожество, дай тобі, sing, дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я й домі. Друге є гості, святе Василя, дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я й домі. Треті є гості, святе хрещення, дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я й домі. І з Новим годом поздоровляєм, дай тобі, last one, дай тобі, Боже, щастя, здоров'я й домі.
Wow.
Very well done.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for that history and that context and that inspiration. And yes, I'm gonna get off and go see my students today and go, guess what language I was singing? Well, attempting to sing in today. And we'll be singing freedom songs. It reminded me of the freedom singers during the time of the civil rights movement. They would be in jail singing back and forth to each other. So, music continues to inspire and carry us. Well, this has been great. So, Nadia Tarnawsky, coming in from Cleveland, Ohio. Thank you so, so much. It is so great to have you here on the Daily Antidote of Song. And I know now, of course, we've got songs coming each day. So I think, Jojo, you've got something to show us?
Yep, I got it. And Dr. Kim, if you need to drop, I can take it from here. I know you've got to get to class. And I want to just begin by everybody, can we all please thank Nadia again? That was just remarkable, Nadia. There's nothing better than feeling like I'm treated to the idea of going on a musical, cultural, and emotional journey, especially when it relates to, cultural trauma and the ways in which music can really help to heal that. So thank you, and thank you. And we can't wait to sing with you again really soon. Just quickly for everybody, we're in the middle of February. Well, we're at the beginning, really, and we're singing. So we're going to sing tomorrow with Claire Wellen. She's coming in from New York. She's brand new to us. On Wednesday, we are going to sing with Sarah Golden, coming in out of Texas. And you actually met Sarah briefly. She dropped in at Focal Lines and sang a song. But today, or on Wednesday, we'll call her new because it's her first day where she has it all to herself. On Thursday, the 5th, we're going to have Liz Ikamba singing with us, coming in out of the UK. On Friday, Ibil, coming out of Nashville, Tennessee, also new, and also was walking around Folk Alliance, and you might have seen her on the screen. On Saturday, the 7th, we are going to sing with Magpie, and we might have a couple other surprises that day, so please join us then. And on Sunday the 8th, also out of Nashville, Nora Jane Struthers with us for the first time. Looking forward to spending this week with all of you. Let's all give it up again one more time for Nadia Tarnawsky. Nadia, honestly, you bring the whole essence of Village Harmony and all that meaningfulness that Larry Gordon put in to the notion of how we learn music and why. And yeah, it's right here in my heart, and I'm so grateful. Can everybody please, I want to make an announcement that everybody is invited to stay for an announcement right after we close today. And so then also for the folks out there who are watching on YouTube and on Facebook, if it is in fact 12:25 Eastern time right now, you're following us at the moment, you're welcome to go to the Daily Antidote of Song webpage and click join us in the virtual room and join us in here for the announcement. We always love seeing your faces. All right, everybody, please help me thank Nadia again one more time. And wave goodbye to everybody out there on YouTube and everybody out there on Facebook. Thanks everybody so much for joining us out there. We'll see you